What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies, man. I spent the day kind of watching the Trump rally today, which is pretty good over in DC. It's a pretty good sized crowd, and then paying attention to what's kind of going on in the markets. The same thing I do most every day. And but I really got into listening to those experts talking about gold and silver and cryptocurrencies as well as the real estate market. So there's some really interesting things being talked about. I'm going to show you some fun graphs here in just a second. But before we get going, I want to just say that if you're thinking about buying precious metals, give a consideration to our friends over that Money Metals Exchange. If you are a first-time buyer here in the United States or in Puerto Rico, and you spend more than $100 on precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. I also want to give a special shout out to my little buddy, Tiernan. That's right, he's over at Money Metals, working hard, probably the hardest working kid over there. He's 11 years old. Tiernan loves to swim, and he told me that he's looking forward to representing us in the Olympics. So let's wish him well. I'm sure he'll do good. I jokingly said that's good because when you're on camera, and you're there and the Olympics are going and the camera zooms in on you, you got your little swimming cap on, man, it's going to be so cool to see you standing there, take off your USA jacket, turn around and have Pimpy on your back. He'll have it on the shirt, you know what I mean? He's going to say Pimpy right on the back. Anyways, tuning in, let's everybody wish him well. And I just wanted to say hi to him. I had a chance to talk to him last night. He's a kick in the butt, man. He's a lot of fun to talk to. All right, you guys, as you are aware, I am still in Facebook jail. I was hoping to hear 2 days ago about the appeal. This is what I'm talking about. This was the Trump rally today. And keep in mind, everybody, that they were blocking roads trying to prevent Trump supporters from showing up. So I wouldn't say that's a million, but there's definitely there's somewhere about 40, 50,000 people. I'm sure the media is going to say a few thousand, but we all know that's not true. Nonetheless, anyways, you guys, I am over here at on Twitter. I'm also on LBRY. Now the link for this is in the description, actually for all of my different platforms. This is like YouTube. You guys might like this a whole lot. There's no censoring over here. So the link is in here. Feel free to come join me on over here. Again, I'll leave the link so you can come specifically to my channel. All right, catch me there just in case they boot me all the way off YouTube. You can catch me here. They were nice enough to download all my videos, so you can come catch them here as well. Okay, I'm on MeWe. Okay, I'm here, man. I learned my lesson. I was only playing around with Facebook, and I was only playing around with YouTube. And a couple of people said, man, you really got to get on the Twitter. And they talked me into it, which was a good thing. So I'm on there, and sure enough, I got booted off Facebook. Or anyways, I'm a political prisoner there at the moment. And now I've been demonetized on YouTube. So there's no money making from them guys whatsoever. All right, so nonetheless, anyways, you guys can come join me on any of these platforms, and it's free to do so. That's how I like to try to keep it. I'll think of something, but nonetheless, the links for all these are in the description. All right, real quick, just a quick shot at what's going on in the market. Gold and silver. Look at gold's around 1880, almost 1890. Silver at 2476. It's funny. See, I told you about silver. It'll drop real quick, but it'll recover real quick. All of a sudden, we saw a drop on cryptocurrencies. What we're looking at is this. It's just profit grabbing. That's all it is. Let's be honest. I mean, the thing was down. It jumped from like the high 14,000s into the 16,000s literally within a couple of days. So I think this is just a lot of people just grabbing their profits real quick. We see this happen from time to time. This does it on a few of these cryptocurrencies. When people own them and it gets up there high enough, they get nervous and they turn around and they just, they'll grab their profits. So nonetheless, I think that's what's going on here. But again, I told you there's a lot of volatility in the markets, so don't be surprised to see these huge swings, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Although a lot of people are still, I'm seeing a lot of these investment advisors telling people, look, don't invest in cryptocurrencies. If you do, just do Bitcoin only. So it's very interesting to listen to their theory. But again, one of them said something that caught my attention and brought me back to reality when it comes to cryptocurrencies. He's like, look, don't be surprised the government doesn't do away with cryptocurrencies altogether. And let me tell you why. And it made sense. When you see the big banks, central banks, all creating their own stable dollar, their own version of a cryptocurrency that represents their country's dollar, then they don't want anything competing with it. In other words, there will be no need for cryptocurrencies. Now, I don't know how much of that is possible, but we're talking about our government and we are talking about bankers. All right, they are very corrupt. So we will keep an eye on that. Nonetheless, I see a lot of people moving into Bitcoin. All right, lots of people still. I had a video up, and I think over here is where I was looking at it. Nah, that's not what it was. I was watching this video on gold and silver, and over to the side had Andy Schekman. I think that's how you say his name. He made a good point, and his whole interview was, people stop watching the market. Don't listen to what the so-called experts are telling you. Pay attention to gold and silver bugs. These are people, that's all they deal in. But he also said, look, if you really want to know what's going on in the market, always pay attention to what these people do, not what they say. I said, man, that's what I say. Nonetheless, the point he was trying to make is, as much as Pfizer came out and said, hey, we got this vaccine, hey, we're ready to rock and roll. Then the very next day after the stock shot up, the CEO of Pfizer sold like 62% of all his stock. And you have to ask yourself, why? If you're getting ready to release a vaccine, why would you do that? Unless there's something that we're not being told. See, again, that's when you start questioning these types of things. So we watch what they do, not what they say, all right? And still, plenty of people are moving into physical gold and silver, as well as minor stocks, all right? So anyways, nonetheless, look, it dropped down. When it gets up to a certain point, people like to cash in. You know, a lot of people might have bought in at $11,000. They get up to 16. They're like, oh, man, this is great. They'll cash in a bunch of their coins, get a lot of that money back that they thought they lost or lost before. The same thing happens with gold and silver. Right now, it's going horizontal still keeps falling. It keeps going up and down within a certain range. That's just like consolidation, or runs horizontal, okay? But again, I was listening to one of the experts. I tried to grab a clear screenshot, and I don't know if I got it, but let me show you this real quick. He said right now, and he was showing us that there's a battle going on between people who are selling shorts on the precious metals and people who are selling longs on the precious metals. All right? So the people who are going long are kind of winning this battle, to the point now where you're seeing these bankers interfere with the market. So how you could tell this is happening is, as once again the gold price started getting towards the 2,000 mark, then all of a sudden we seen like $100 drop. That's because they had to sell a record number of shorts, to manipulate the markets. So each time it's getting harder and harder for them to do this. They can't just keep manipulating the markets. People are not falling for it anymore. If anything, people are learning to buy on the dips. Yep, we talked about that. And they're not panicking and they're not selling their precious metals. So these types of tactics aren't working very good. So that's what this is. The market, sooner or later, is going to take off, because as soon as it drops, we notice it doesn't take very long for it to start to recover. Back in the olden days, what they would do is sell a bunch of shorts real quick, and the market would drop, and it would stay kind of low for a little while. That's not happening. We're seeing the markets recover very, very quickly, usually by the next day or the day after. That's why you see these crazy graphs the way you do. Okay? So if we look at gold real quick, so you can see that's just a 1 day, okay? So you see this drop right here? That was caused right there by them selling a record number of shorts. In other words, they're telling everybody that they think the price is going to drop, and it caused a market reaction. In addition to that, you had the announcement of the Pfizer and their vaccine. And then, it makes everybody believe this is promising, that the economy will be open soon and everything will start to rebound. You had the algorithms going, ooh, and they triggered, and they started moving everything from safe havens and moving into a more riskier stock. And people saw this and they fell for it, causing this drop to happen. Okay, but again, this price, look, as it got up there near 2000, once again, boom, they knocked it back down. But that's not going to, they can't, it's not going to keep working. It's getting harder and harder for them to do them each time. And the only way they can make it happen is by selling a record number of shorts. See, eventually what's going to happen is that's going to turn around and nip them in the ass. The market won't respond to the shorts, and they're going to be stuck on shorts, and then you're going to see the market take off. This is really going to be killer. We'll see what happens here. But right now, look, most people are saying this cannot continue. As a matter of fact, everybody that I see talking about it is anticipating huge things happening here real shortly, still within 2021. There's a variety of people who think differently about the price, but definitely a lot of people feel we're going to get near the $2,500 range for gold, and you're going to see near that $3,500 range for silver. Is that possible? I don't know. We're going to see. There's a lot of volatility in the market because there's a lot of uncertainty about what the hell is going on in this election. All right. So we will keep an eye on that nonetheless. But I want to show you another graph. These people are saying it doesn't make a difference who's in office. This is where we are right now. This is what they're expecting to happen starting in 2021. You're going to see one hell of a bull ride. That's right. We're riding bodacious. Got our hand on that rope, one hand in the air, spurs way up high, man. We got a 6.5 seconds on an 8-second ride. All right, so look at this. You can see this time frame. Remember, I showed you that one graph where gold was around $50. It got up to about $250. They knocked it back down to $200, and then it shot up to $550 an ounce. All this happened within an 18-month length of time. This is what people are expecting to happen once again. Okay, look at the peak is somewhere around 2023. This is the beginning, is when it's going to start to take off. And there's a lot of people talking about this. A lot. So it doesn't make a difference who's in office, although we do want Trump. Because, see, Biden, in my opinion, is the type of president that would bring back the confiscation of precious metals. I just don't trust the Democrats at all. I never did. Well, that's not true. I mean, I grew up a Democrat, and I was a Democratic strategist. But nonetheless, we want Trump back in there so he can bring us back to the gold standard. There are some rumors chirping that before Trump's out of office, he might do a revaluation. All right, again, that's the speculation and rumors. There's no way to prove that. I'm just throwing that out there as a thought. Let that sink in. All right, you guys? So nonetheless, this is what a lot of people are thinking is going to happen. Will it? We don't know. But we're going to find out here soon. All right, you guys? Look at this. What? Refresh? What do you mean refresh? Anyways, nonetheless, you guys, you see this, what's going on in the market. Don't fall for it. Buy on the dip. This was a major dip right here. They call this smashing is what it's called. All right, so smashing when it drops like that. Don't fall for it. Less and less people are falling for it. Pretty soon nobody's going to fall for it, and these guys are going to get nipped in the ass for selling record numbers of shorts. All right, there's a lot of talk. I did a video showing you that there's going to be some definite things to be watching on precious metals in December because there's a lot of contracts coming up, and people are wanting their delivery, to the point where the COMEX is now threatening to blacklist people if they actually take delivery. That's because they don't have the actual amount they're going to need to cover these contracts. It will cause them to default. This is going to cause precious metals to take off like a bat out of hell. All right, you guys, that's where we are for now. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.